There's a kind of tired that sleep doesn't really fix. You can lie down, close your eyes, do nothing for a while, and still feel like your mind is carrying something heavy. Not one big problem, just everything. The message you haven't replied to, the conversation you keep replaying, the decision you still haven't made, the thing you need to do tomorrow, the thing you should have done yesterday, the future, the past, other people's moods, your own doubts. None of it looks dramatic from the outside. You're just sitting there. But inside, your mind is open in 15 different places, and after a while, even a normal day starts to feel exhausting. Not because you did too much, but because you never really stopped thinking.
The noise you don't notice anymore. The strange thing about mental noise is that it doesn't always feel loud. Sometimes it just feels normal. You wake up and your brain starts scanning. What needs to be done? Who needs a response? What could go wrong? What did that person mean? What if this doesn't work? What if you're behind? And because these thoughts are small, you don't treat them like stress. You treat them like life. But small thoughts still take energy. A tiny worry costs something. A half-finished decision costs something. A conversation you keep replaying costs something. It's like having too many tabs open in the background. Nothing is crashing yet, but everything is slower. And the worst part is, you might not even realize why. You just feel foggy, a little irritated, a little disconnected, a little tired of being yourself for the day. And this is where most people misunderstand the problem. They think they need a better routine, but sometimes the issue isn't the schedule. It's the amount of invisible thinking happening underneath it.
The tax nobody sees. There's a quiet tax on thinking about everything. Thinking about work while eating dinner. Thinking about money while walking. Thinking about someone's tone while trying to sleep. Thinking about the future while missing the room you're already in. None of these thoughts feel big enough to stop your day, but together they slowly take the day from you. You become physically present, but mentally somewhere else. And that's the hidden cost. You don't just lose energy, you lose contact with the moment. The coffee doesn't taste like much. The walk doesn't feel like a walk. The silence doesn't feel peaceful. Rest doesn't feel like rest, because your mind is still working, still sorting, still rehearsing, still preparing for things that may never happen. And at some point, your brain stops feeling like a home and starts feeling like a waiting room full of unfinished things. But here's the part that matters. Thinking about everything can feel responsible. It can feel like caring. But carrying a thought all day is not the same as solving it.
Letting go without giving up. Not every thought deserves a chair in your mind. Some thoughts only need to pass through. A worry can be noticed without being carried. A problem can be real without being held every second. A feeling can exist without becoming the center of the day. That's not avoidance, that's space. And space is something most minds are starving for. The calmest people aren't calm because they have nothing to think about. They're calm because they've learned that not every thought needs their full attention. They can say, "Not now. This isn't mine to solve. I'll come back to this when I actually can do something." That small boundary changes everything, because the mind doesn't become peaceful by solving every thought. It becomes peaceful when it stops inviting every thought to stay. Maybe the goal isn't to think less because you don't care. Maybe the goal is to think more clearly because you finally stopped carrying what doesn't belong to this moment.
A smaller mind can feel lighter. There's relief in letting the mind become smaller, not less intelligent, not less aware, just less crowded. A mind with room to breathe, a mind that can finish one thought before starting 10 more. A mind that can sit in a quiet room without turning silence into a problem. That kind of peace doesn't happen all at once. It starts with one simple question. Do I need to carry this right now? Sometimes the answer is yes, but a lot of the time it's no. And that no can give you back more energy than you think. If this made something in you feel lighter, I made a small free PDF on protecting your focus and mental space in a noisy world. The link is below. No pressure, just something simple to help your mind feel a little more like yours again.